Why do people with Down syndrome look similar? Nothing offensive at all. Down syndrome is associated with an extra chromosome instead of the usual 46. 23 pairs chromosomes. This correlates directly to various physical features including a flat and broad face, short neck, abnormally small chin, flat nose, protruding tongue, up slanting eyes, corners of the mouth are turned down. Also muscle hypotonia, where limbs aren't controlled, stiff but rather floppy. And people with these physical attributes look uniquely similar compared to the average person, which is why you feel like they look alike. Separate train of thought. A lot of chromosomal disabilities have common physical traits associated with the chromosome abnormalities. Another example is Fragile X, which presents traits of enlarged facial features. Ears, forehead for example, and pale blue eyes. I used to work with adults with developmental disabilities, and all 6 of our clients with Fragile X had piercingly blue eyes, even though that wasn't a family trait shared with their parents or siblings. Some of the physical features of people with Down syndrome are due to how the body develops within extra chromosome genetic blueprints in the mix. This is why they are similar amongst many people with DS. Interestingly, at birth you can get a good indication of Down syndrome with some physical features, including short umbilical cord, sometimes only a few inches long, specific creases in the palms of the hand, stubby fingers, and attached earlobes. My niece was born with surprise Down syndrome, and these were the first indicators. I worked with a guy who had Down syndrome that did not have any mental impairment. He had many of the common physical traits of someone with DS, but there was no intellectual difference between him and the average person. He actually seemed to be above average in intelligence and was a well-respected and accomplished person in the company. I didn't know that you could have DS without mental impairment before I met him. Is it possible to have the look of Down syndrome but have an extremely high IQ level? There was a girl in my school who had the exact look Op is describing, but she was top of our class and went into a full-ride scholarship at a top college. Valid question. Different conditions can manifest in similar facial features, such as fetal alcohol exposure, thin upper lip, small eyes with distinct crease, Sanfilippo syndrome, bushy eyebrows, etc. Great question. Up. If you want answers from actual Down syndrome persons, our ABC TV has a series called You Can't Ask That. Quote, check out the relevant episode. And yes, the people being asked are fine and happy with it. On top of the condition causing very particular facial features that have been pointed out, it probably also has to do with the fact that humans inherently are worse at distinguishing between the faces of people that don't look like us and that we don't have a lot of exposure to. This typically applies to race. E.g., Asian people may have a harder time distinguishing between white people's faces compared to other Asian people's faces. But I would wager that also plays a factor here. Not that people with Down syndrome are a different race, but appearance-wise, I think the analogy is appropriate. It's called the own race bias if you're interested. The extra chromosome is what gives the unique features which are similar between different individuals. It's genetic, and it's not offensive. People with the same genetic syndromes will have similar features in most cases. Thanks for educating not just yourself but other Redditor like me. Same as Charge syndrome, which my sister has. Certain chromosome disorders cause a similar type of look. Is it always? No, but depending on the disorder it can be common. I've noticed too. I've just been so terrified to ask. Thank you. Not trying to be funny or disrespectful, but the largest penis I have ever seen was on a guy that had Down syndrome or something similar. It was literally larger than a Pringles can. How do I know? We shared a hotel room. I was dating a girl in my 20s and her parents were very religious. They took me on vacation with them, but would not let us have a hotel room together. I had to share a room with her uncle who was about 40. He wakes up at like 5:30 in the morning and takes a shower. He walks out of the shower still wet with no towel. I look up from my disturbed sleep and see his caveman club swinging. I am not lying when I say easily 3 inches in diameter and probably close to 14 inches long. I am not joking or exaggerating. I was shocked. Also, I never got any rest on vacation. Every morning he would wake up at 5:30 and was very loud going through his things and taking a shower. Every time he came out of the shower sans towel. Down syndrome is an extra copy of the 21st chromosome. This chromosome may be responsible for forming facial structures. Just my thoughts though. I guess it's the same way people with cerebral palsy all look similar. We are less susceptible to see minor differences and more prone to see large differences. I'd like to hijack this to add a question I've always had. Why do they always seem so damn happy? They're a joy to be around. That's what makes it a syndrome, common features shared by those afflicted with it. Try to write CHDFIDD in Chrome. There should be an explanation: cold sweat smile. I think it's because they got Down syndrome. It's not offensive. It's part of the idea of a syndrome. Basically, the malformed aspects of their skeleton are similar to the group, so they look similar.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aerocast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.